With elections right around the corner, politics is everywhere, on TV, online, and in our daily conversations. It's no surprise that our curious kids ask questions, but explaining without being polarizing can be a challenge. Luckily, we have author and licensed psychologist Dr. Kelly Rabenstein here to help. Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for being here today. And it's interesting talking about this because these conversations start a lot younger than many of us remember. In elementary school, we're learning about government. So what age do these conversations usually start?
Oh, they start as soon as your kids hear about it at school. So it could be as early as kindergarten, but certainly upper elementary school children, they're learning about civics, they're learning how the government works, and they're also talking with their friends. Now, this is a presidential election year, so they're gonna hear about it a lot more than they would in other years. So I would expect that your kids have heard something.
Yeah. And when they come home and they're asking these tough questions, many of us, we have our own opinions and we might think that our opinions are the right opinions. But why are these conversations important to be having with our young kids?
Well, if you don't talk to your kids about a topic, and that's any topic, then they'll make up their own ideas with what they hear from friends or what they gather from the media. And so it's important to have those conversations because politics is about what you value. That's also why it gets to be such a hot topic, because what we value is core to who we are inside. And so if we talk to our kids about our values and which candidate might align with those values, then we can sort of guide the conversation.
Do you think it is a good idea if you believe in a certain political candidate and you are expressing those ideas to your child, do you think that's the proper thing to do, or do you think you should leave it a little bit more open for them to make a decision?
Oh my, so the academic part of me, the psychologist part, would love to say, yes, it's wonderful always to let our children sort of figure out who they are in the world with our guidance. At the same time, because our values are so closely aligned with who we like politically, it's so difficult to not engage in those conversations and talk about who we really like or what we would prefer. At the same time, there are respectful ways to talk about it. In our house, we talk about who we like, not who we don't like. So we talk about, who we might want to be the president and why. And in my house, we have two different feelings on that.
Really?
So yes, my husband and I do not align politically. And so we each sort of stick to what we feel and why it's important to us. And since we have respect for each other, we keep those conversations pretty, civil and kind.
And that actually probably works out quite well for if there's a young child in the home, because they're getting kind of the best of both worlds. They're seeing both ideas and both perspectives. And politics can be complex, even for adults. So how can we simplify these conversations so that our kids can understand a little bit better?
Well, politics is history in action. It's happening right now. And so all of those ideas we want our kids to learn about how the government works, what's special about democracy, all of those pieces we can talk about as they're happening in real time in age-appropriate ways.
Are there any activities or resources that you would recommend for parents?
Yes. Well, first of all, talking openly, and importantly, no name calling is always important. We're talking about real people, and I believe strongly that civility starts in the home. Even when we feel very passionately about something, we can model appropriate loving kindness towards people, even when we disagree. Yeah,
that's very true. And Dr. Kelly, where can we go to learn more about you if anyone wants to reach out to you?
kellydoc.com. It's just kellydoc.com.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for being here with us today and talking about something so timely and important.
Thank you.
We're back in 2 minutes.